You guys should be able to see me in there. Red, orange, and yellow guy.
Yeah.
All right, so I point that out, and I'm going to make the joke because it's still going to work in my favor. Sorry, fellas, but that means I'm the hottest thing inside the frame right now. Yes, it works every damn time, even from the guys. So we're looking for those cold spots, just like Chuck said. So those cold spots are going to be blue and black. That's what we're looking for. We're always going to have blue and black because there's going to be aluminum cans on the ground, windshields, windows. You guys get the point. I'm looking for those blue and black areas to either take shape or to start moving on their own. That's what I'm hoping for. When I say take shape, I want a head, shoulders, moving arms, and legs. That's what we've caught with this guy in the past. That's hopefully what we're going to capture with it again.
So you see these things?
Yes. Now, I love to give you stats on the equipment that you're about to use because, again, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a TV show host. I'm working for Discovery. So with this particular camera, I get 4 to 5 pieces that I would put my stamp of approval on per year, not per episode.
Sure.
Yeah, that's how this goes. So I do get some anomalies in there where I'm like, not sure. I'm not going to put my full stamp of approval on it, but I will question it for sure. In the event I question anything or find my stamp of approvals, you will have screenshots and the markers of where I found it. So again, your detailed report is detailed on purpose. It's going to be 9 to 10 pages long, just so you guys know. Yeah, it's pretty full. So with those cameras running, you're going to keep them running the entire time we are in a space. You don't want to like hit that button when you think you see something because by the time you hit it, it's already gone. So we want to make sure we get enough footage from every location. So this location, how this is going to work is I'm going to give you the history of the space, and then we're going to spread out, staying away from the 3 vehicles that we have in here. And I'll do a couple of round robins with this group, take a few notes, and then regroup us to show you how it all ties together. Speaking of which, communication devices, this is where I start withholding information on purpose. I am not going to be giving you questions here like what color was George Washington's white horse, like what we did over there with the big red barn. I want you to find this stuff and not knowing that you found it. Does that make sense? So have you heard anything yet coming out of there?
Nothing that I could like take apart.
Okay. Just remember, it's going to be the silliest thing that you hear that's going to stick of a question that I normally ask here, okay. Just so you know. That's kind of how this goes. What do you got now?
Scare.
Yeah.
Scare? That's funny.
Yeah, it is going to give you some of the bullshit words. And again, most of it, remember, 80% of that's going to be garbage to me.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of see how this goes. So this place used to be something relevant to the history of Charleston. This used to be the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion. Their mansion sat in the front of the space, facing East Bay Street. Eliza's garden was lined up with Five Church Restaurant and came all the way across. And then in the back of the space is where the servant and slave quarters were. That's the layout of the land. Who the hell were these people? Charles and Eliza, they had a son named Charles, they had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 Chucks, plus the Chuck that we have, that makes 4.
Something.
What do you got? You said you were going to speak up. Her feet are colder.
Oh, that's her.
Mm-hmm.
She's over here.
Right.
She's over here. That's her.
Okay.
This her over here. It's next to me.
No. That's her right there. The camera is on this side. So when
That's
move,
her.
Yep.
I was looking at him. Sorry.
Yep.
All right. Perspective. I'm good.
Extra feet.
Now that we have that figured out.
You thought I had 2 pairs of feet?
Well, I couldn't see anything but feet.
Yeah, she thought your feet were his feet.
Yes.
Oh.
Camera's on the wrong side.
Why don't you
The
actually?
other side. We're good. Sorry.
So Charles,
No apologies.
Charles, and Charles.
You got it. Plus this Chuck.
Yeah, let's Chuck.
So that's 3 Chucks. That's why we look for secondary clues, so I know which one is coming through, so that way I can address him appropriately. Make sense?
Got it.
All right. Now, the 2 Chucks of the son and the nephew, they were signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. Big deal for us. I hate politics more than all of you combined. We're going to move on. If I don't give the gentlemen their recognition, they will do it for me in a nasty manner through a spirit box.
Oh.
So I just give them their recognition. We move on to Eliza. She has a much better story anyway. Eliza married Charles at a young age according to today's standards. I say it like that because if you're going to ask her how old she was, do not expect numbers from the colonial days when young ladies got married at the ages of like 12 and 14. Think of today's standards because the husband was over double her age when they married. It was creepy then, it's creepy now. So I'll just put it out there. I don't think we have couples here that are actually that age gap apart. Because it is a pretty decent age gap. Moving forward. She married him because her father was over in England, where her family's from, and Dad thinks he's dying over there in England, wants to bring all of his children home so he can see them one last time. Eliza didn't believe he was dying, so she stayed put, right here, got married. Well, it's 1744. You don't get married in that particular year to earn a green card because we're not a country yet, and that doesn't exist. So she did marry him out of love. This is a true love story. There is nothing horrific about this location. It is a place of respect. Notice how I said that very sternly. Thank you. All right, now, moving on. She was correct. Dad did not die right away. So instead, Dad is now sending her gifts from England to where you're standing. One of those gifts happened to be the plant seeds of indigo. That's a plant that makes blue dye, makes your blue jeans blue. That's what we use it for today. Once you got those seeds though, no idea what to do with them. Had to learn from our servants and slaves how to keep it going. It's not always hot here, believe it or not. I can't remember where everybody's from, but it's not always hot here. So then she had to learn how to make the dye, moved it to a cash crop, got a hold of Dad and told him that the rice plantations were going downhill in price. They were gonna make a killing with the indigo. And we now have an international businesswoman during colonial times. Something absolutely unheard of. Now, that's the boring business shit of Eliza. Let's get into the weird stuff, because that's why you're here. So with the communication devices, I'm going to be assigning you guys questions. Keep in mind, we have 2 cameras plus my so-called voice recorder running. So hopefully those answers will go anywhere. So Claire, if you're asking a question, it can literally come over here to Karen. We never know where the answers are going to go. Even if it was just these 2 young ladies here, I would probably have that in my pocket and checking it just to verify what's going on with your spirit box. All right, so yours, you're going to focus on Eliza's death. 4 major questions that we get answers to. Now, by the way, anybody, if you go rogue, kind of 3 little rules. No yes, no answers. You already got that one. Be respectful. Do not ask about the children. I will explain before we leave the space. Okay. So if you ask about the kids, all activity will stop. So Chase, have you seen any numbers?
A couple.
Okay, we'll talk about that once I get all the questions out. 4 major questions. Age at death, how she died, where she's buried, what president was a pallbearer at her funeral. Age, how, where, president. Got him? You're going to be looking for Eliza's maiden name. Reason why? She's the 2nd wife named Eliza from Charles back to back. First wife died in January. 5 months later, he marries the one I just told you about. The first Eliza also had a maiden name that started with the letter L. Figure out which Eliza we're dealing with. You can also use the marriage question, like the age at time of marriage would be a good thing for you, because that will also give you numbers. Just so you know, it also gives you numerals. Your device gives us 1 to 2 syllables at a time. You're going to be focused on the mansion because it's not here. There's a Jeep parked in the damn meeting room. So what happened to it? If you get the what, we will often get 2 or 3 numbers from the exact date of when that tragedy occurred, giving you a clue that it was a tragedy. Obviously, cameras are already up and running. So I'm actually going to explain some of the numbers over to Chase just for a few minutes where you guys spread out and get used to your devices. Christina, have you gotten any other words that we need to know about? Hit the little white box on the right. Give me the last 4 or 5 terms that you have. They're at the top.
Yeah, stadium, scare, fact, properly, term, bet.
Okay, whole lot of nothing.
Section, dry, Austin.
Yeah, whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, everybody, scatter. I'll be with everybody in a minute doing 1 or 2 round robins. Chase, let me explain what you got going on there. First off, what numbers have you seen?
I had 6.5.
Okay.
Just says 2.5. Second.
Okay.
Unless you want to go over by the garden.
So either out loud or just focus. Either way, doesn't matter.
So off mute, correct?
Yes, please.
I'm looking for information about the mansion that used to be here. Does anyone know what happened to the mansion that used to be here? Can you repeat that? What happened to the mansion that was here? Yes, I heard you say the mansion is all gone. What happened to it? What happened here that made the mansion not livable any longer? I'm trying to learn the story of the house that used to stand here. to your home?
Got a rock?
What happened here? Eliza, please tell me what happened to your home. Yes, it is gone. Why is it gone?
What do you got? I hear you talking. There's got to be something happening.
She keeps telling me that the house is gone.
Yeah.
That it's all gone, that it's gone.
The mansion is gone. Is the first
I like
thing
it.
she said.
The
Yeah.
mansion is gone.
The
Yes,
mansion
gone,
is
and then
Oh,
all,
shit.
and then a man said all gone, and then the same woman said gone. Why is your house gone, Eliza? What happened to it?
Love it. So are you into this too, or is this like really all of her thing? It's okay to tell me.
She's more into this than I am. She's just
Really?
being, yes,
Well,
boy.
I'm a very creepy person.
Well, she just, again, you seem very reserved.
We're
Like,
both a
at
little
this,
sensitive.
Right,
like,
I'm trying to stay closed.
We're both a little sensitive, so
so don't stay closed. Open up.
No.
Well, you're in a non-taboo place.
well, us being with each other is a lot already.
And our birthday is tomorrow. So it's gonna, yeah.
Turning 19
We've
again?
got twin force activate happening right now.
Well,
Twin powers.
when you said identical twins, I was kind of like, ooh, I wonder how this is going to go tonight.
It's exactly how it's gonna go.
Because wait till you see what I'm going to do to you guys at the end. Like, this is going to get, like, a little nuts.
I'm sure your home was beautiful, Eliza. I'm so sorry that it's gone. Can you tell me anything about what happened to your home? I'm sure you loved Charleston and loved your family. Thank you for speaking with us, Eliza. What year did the house become uninhabitable? 18 what? Eliza, am I near the front of your home? I hear you trying to speak with us. What year was your home built? Eliza, are you able to tell me what year your home was built? Eliza, did you grow indigo in your garden? I'm so glad to know this is you we're talking to. I'm sure your garden was beautiful. Eliza, what year did you die? If you'd rather, we can keep talking about your home. How many horses did you own, Eliza?
I heard the word horses. What's going on over here?
Just asking her a question.
Like what?
Just ask
Horses.
her how many horses she owned.
Okay.
See if I'm actually getting something.
Have you heard anything else? Since
Oh,
last
there were random numbers that came out when I asked about the year the home was built and the year it became uninhabitable.
Okay.
There were a series of random numbers that
Do
I
you
could
remember
not
any of
understand.
Well, 18.
Well, there was 18 that came out, and when I said 18, they said no, 17. It went no, and then it went 17, and I said so 17.
but we didn't get a second half of the number.
the 18 is correct. As far as like what happened to it, it is part of it.
But she'd
Yeah.
asked what, we were asking what happened to it and when.
Yeah.
Got nothing. And then she asked when it was built.
Oh,
Is
when it was
when-
built
Yes.
is the exact year that Eliza got married. So,
And they
so
said 18,
that
no,
would be the 17.
Yes.
I would be more convinced if it was the last two numbers of the year, because that's a little bit
And
more
it's
specific.
possible because a bunch of, literally, there was so much noise and a bunch of numbers just like blah, blah, blah.
So
And then,
the other piece of this too is that somebody else on the other recordable spirit box might actually have the word 4 twice.
Oh, yeah.
So because you heard 17,
Yeah.
4, 4.
Yeah.
It was 1744. So I will take that as like a full-blown sentence. It just spread itself apart. That's why I always use multiple communication devices.
so then I asked a yes or no question. I apologize. I already got scolded by my sister. I asked if she grew indigo in her garden, and it said yes. Then I said, I'm sure your garden was beautiful. And then it was like, oh.
Oh, nice.
We got like a little dancing music that
Nice.
came
Little
through.
halo over top of
A
it.
little celebration. It was funny.
There's always, and again, don't just get discouraged with that yes, no. I'm just like, I don't always write that stuff down because it's
Yeah.
conversational.
Yeah.
I like nouns. You know, obviously
Right.
names and numbers don't lie.
Right.
But that's usually the things that I look for. If there's a conversational piece that happens and it goes on for more than 2 or 3 altercations back and forth, I will put down conversation at this location 1 point. Like just because it was a back and forth for a little bit of a banter.
Yeah, got it.
So again, when it's more
See,
personalized like
nothing. Literally nothing.
Yeah.
Eliza, be nice. I'm gonna do one more round with everybody.
She is being nice. I've been thanking her for talking to me.
Should. All right, I'll give you guys another minute,
Thank
and
you.
I'm gonna yank this all back to where we were.
Perfect.
I mean, they get harassed every day.
Right? Eliza, am I standing near where your dining room was?
Sounded like, what? What's that?
I will take that as a no. I'm going to walk over here. Eliza, am I standing near your dining room?
What room would have been next to your dining room? Oh, thank you, Eliza.
Alright, if you have a camera, hit the stop button, hit your pause button. Alright, if you haven't hit the record button on your cameras, or if we're ready, just by all means hit the record button. Just try to get a view going one way or the other down the alley. So if other tourists come through here, we just kind of split the seas and you point your cameras directly at the ground. So that way we're not making those weirdos feel uncomfortable. By the way, you are the weirdos out here tonight, in case you were wondering where the weirdos are in Charleston. You're them. So, I know the tourists will walk by you and say, where have they equipment, blinky lights? This place is called Philadelphia Alley. Obviously easy for me to remember because that's where Eliza's buried. Oh, there's a breeze coming through here tonight. That's beautiful.
Feels great.
And normally like choose the gate because sometimes you'll get a gust coming through. Yeah. And even with passers-by coming through here, you guys will still lower your cameras. I think you guys got the point. It seems like a responsible group. I don't have to be the bad dad here. But this place used to be called Dueler's Alley. This is where some of the duels used to occur for the city of Charleston. So I say some of the duels because dueling was illegal in the 1700s. They had to find hiding spots. This just happened to be one of those hiding spots. We all tell the same damn story down here. I'll be honest, this was a location I was going to take out of my route because if you've been to Charleston, you've probably heard this story before, just not with equipment. However, I'm still going to give you guys a few extra details because we're ghost hunting. We're not on a campfire, most of kind of ghost story. So let's get into why we're here. The doctor moved down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. So, yep. Okay. We have tourism officers that sometimes like to monitor the French Quarter area. We're completely allowed over here, but believe it or not, I had to take out a spot that I would normally tell you the pirate story, which you guys were all excited about, but they're monitoring that space to see if it's going to be eligible for tourists to use it again. Not everybody was talking pirates there. I think I was the only one. I'll tell you why here in just a moment. Back to our actual story of why we're here. The doctor moves here. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. So if you're going to be listening while we're here and she hears the song Brown Eyed Girl while we're here, it's not coincidental. That's part of his name. We get it all the time. Anyway, Doc moves here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a lot of money from her dead parents. She was an attorney helping around with all of the capital. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after her money. So he tells Amanda to get rid of that doctor. He comes down here to Charleston from Rhode Island to prove that he's not just after her money. He is going to make his own money down here. On his way into town, he had a coachman. The coachman set him up to be robbed and killed on his way in. It's like having a really bad Uber driver today. Yeah. So somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen with this horrible coachman and the newcomer coming to town. And his name is Ralph Isaacs. Do those initials sound familiar at all?
Alright.
R.I. Or what? Did I mention an R.I. something else here? Where the doctor's from?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. So, with the regular spirit box that Claire's using, we were getting the letters R.I. all the time. Like somebody spelling out like the word victorious, for example. And we would just have those two letters. I was wondering, is it relevant to the doctor or to Ralph? So I bought a new device. It's called an Envoy. It's like a digital Ouija board that only gives you letters based off of the NFL chases for us. By the way, if I screwed up anybody's name, I think I had you all down that. But perfect. So we've gotten it about 7 times whenever I bring up Ralph's name, not the Rhode Island. So now we know where it's relevant. Back to Ralph. He tells Doc, I know this guy, the coachman. He's going to try to kill you, man. Why don't you come with me? I got friends at 59 Church Street. You can rent a room from them, and then you'll be safe and good to go. Doc took him up on the offer, and they became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, no, this is a true, genuine thing, like legitimate. So they're friends, and basically Doc's doing pretty well for himself. Amanda gets wind of this up in Rhode Island. She's moving down soon. Everything's going great. They're going to get married down here. So Doc Ladd became known as the Whistling Doctor. Here's why I hate the story. It's a giant cliche. Every haunted city you're ever going to visit has a cliche whistling ghost. We all have one. Ours just happens to be a doctor. So why are we in Dueler's Alley? Let's get into that. Doc and Ralph go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. So they go see Richie III and they're on their way home. And they're discussing the new actress that they saw. Doc thought she was great. Ralph didn't. Then Ralph is insulting the doctor's fiance, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island. They got really ugly. They go their separate ways. Ralph goes to his friends at the newspaper and places an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a you're a disgrace to society kind of bullshit. Doc saw the ad, but we followed with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. We're going to sell this, and once and for all, somebody's going to die. So they came down here, they took pretend and died. He fell to the ground. His friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he died 10 days later, November 2nd of 1786, after refusing medical treatment. Let me point out two things. First off, it's 1786. Gunshot wounds back then, a lot different than now, right? Secondly, he's a doctor. He probably decided he had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out himself. Obviously, he failed because he died. Every ghost tour that comes down here tells you to listen for the whistles from the doctor while you're here. We have 2 cameras running plus my voice recorder from my phone. We're going to capture a disembodied whistle, more than likely coming off of one of those 3 devices. However, Fire's device, I can't tell you how many times I come across a whistling part of the song and the word doctor from the commercial immediately after. Remember, I look in increments, 1, 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm not looking for it. It happens. So again, just take that word for it. Dozens upon dozens of times. This guy also follows me around town. He will show up at every spot that we go to here moving forward. Yeah, and he's even been sneaking in the PK Mansion every once in a while. He has code words for me to let me know that he's there. I'll tell you what those code words are later, because most of you will know what it is, but some of you won't. I want to make sure you're not in the know of what's going on with things. It's not something you would commonly hear on the radio. Okay? That's the reason why I chose that code word, and yes, I repeat it to him every single night on the radio to you. Doc, don't forget to use your code word. There it is. And again, you get the point. Now, if you're going to try this on your own when you're not routine from all the way through the alley, using the voice recorder from your phone, and you're going to listen to those whistles, remember that every local knows this story. Anybody walking down Carmel Street or Queen Street, oh, bro, whistle down this alley. It's just something we do in here, so just kind of keep that in mind. Why of course? Yeah. Now, why can't I take you all the way through here? I think they got this case too. Let's talk about that. That's the fun part of this story, actually. So, also brags about my history and my research a little bit. Now, the alley, the way we came in, there used to be a wall up there, about halfway between us and the street. The reason why is this is where they kept the livestock of the city of Charleston. It's called Cow Alley before it was Dooley's Alley. So why am I telling you this? They started over there and slowly worked their way to where we're standing. Those bricks are obviously older than the ones we're standing on. Those bricks are sun-dried bricks from slave children. Full handprint from a slave child. One of those bricks, fingerprint swipes, and others. I used to take my groups all the way through for their history lesson because there's nothing paranormal about it. Right? You already know how I feel about cemeteries. That kid's not there. That's the last place you're going to find him. So, one night, November 26th, 2020, took my entire group down there for their history lesson, and they all stopped, and they huddled around the damn brick waiting for something to happen. I know nothing's going to happen. I'm trying to shoo them along because we're also standing right outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm trying to be respectful. I didn't realize that we were out of bounds before. I was still new to this. The new owner of that mansion came out, was still rooming my daughter, who was on the floor at night, about 14 years old. I was absolutely hysterical, and she's cracking up laughing. We moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I was told on Thanksgiving or any other holiday because on Thanksgiving, I used to work for Walmart, upper management. People all fought over cows on Thanksgiving, and it started me for life. I'm never working another Thanksgiving ever again. So the next day, I told my partner that brought me into tourism that I used to work with, and I told him what happened so I could figure out what to do. He laughed at me, just like my daughter did. He said, dude, you're only allowed to go down halfway. That's it. After that, it's considered residential, so you're going to have to reroute your group. So I told my group that night, don't believe in the next story because I'm not into pirates. I'm into vampires. It's not my thing. We're going to see what happens. Before we left here, someone with a spirit box heard the name Anne. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating over there. The female pirate, Anne Bonny. I was kind of like, well, maybe we'll see what happens. I took them around the corner, told them what I knew about piracy. Not much. Just a few hours of research real quick. Somebody else heard the number 300. No idea what it meant. I wrote it down and did the research for them. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720, the exact 300-year anniversary of her piracy. Now, for you guys, that was usually the wow and amazing. I was actually quite pissed off. Let me explain. I have a master's degree in creative writing and a couple of other bachelor degrees in writing as well. Anything I do as far as research, I like facts and data. Pirate stories come from pirate lore. Pirate lore was written 100 years after the golden age of piracy. That's a problem. That means I have to read more damn books whenever you guys were discovering things to be able to verify what's actually happening. What came out of that, after 4 years of telling that story over there, it became a fantastic story, and at one point it was my grand finale of the night because it was so grandeur. Now, we're not going there tonight, unfortunately. We will probably see a couple of trickles while we're over there because we're going to be right across the street of where I'm not allowed to take you. Yeah. Where we are going, Chuck's camera is going to be the focus. Do you still have a battery on there?
So we're on red.
Okay, I would say hit the stop button on the back, and we will swap out your battery and light once we go up and around the corner because I want to make sure we have a full-blown light going on over there. So when we get up there, that's going to be the focus. Christina, do you have any other words that showed up since we've been here before we leave the space?
When we were coming into here, it said film, and then camera,
closer to it right now because it's right on the other side of this wall. You just can't see it from here. We're gonna go around the corner to where we can actually zoom in, and I'm gonna tell you about it once we get around the corner because having some camera work over there is key. So with your camera, you can go ahead and hit the stop button. We're gonna go up around the corner. I'll get out of your way so you can jump right in there. And then, of course, Chuck, you can zoom in. Now, June 16th of this year, can anybody tell me what holiday fell on that date? No. Father's Day. I don't work on holidays, do I? So, the night of June 15th, which is Saturday, and I'm done with the tour. My office is right around the corner, so I'm like, it's after midnight, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to go down and see if I can get this apparition. I'm using my other infrared camera, the one that we don't use anymore, and I come down here, and I hear this about a minute in. Hey, little key jingle and a little hey. I'm like, oh, somebody's monitoring the location. So I literally pulled my camera out from in between the bars, I go back to my car, drive home. The next day I check on the data, like I only had a minute and 8 seconds on the camera, just to see if it was actually there. Nothing there. Son of a bitch. I was actually quite ticked. Like, could have been anything at that point, since it's not actually on the audio. That camera was like a GoPro, so it actually picked up audio pretty decently. I was pretty happy with it. So this location, Chase, just so you know, we've been getting weird things. We got up to a 9 and a 12, like over by the gate where Mom's at. So just kind of,
I mean, just sitting down over there. Got a probably 20 something.
yeah,
Caught that out of the corner of my eye, and then immediately after 14.
lamppost.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yep, electrical lines underneath the feet.
All right, yeah, no, that makes sense then.
But over here, there's nothing underneath this pad. I think it all goes on the outside of it. So again, you're probably gonna get a little trickle, like maybe a 4 or 5, but
Yeah,
we've had a 9 and a 15 within the past couple of weeks that I've been coming here. Are you zoomed in pretty close on there, Chuck?
I am as far as it'll zoom.
Okay. Just trying to get a gauge so when I watch it later. Oh, by the way, you guys see the light off to the left? The church put that light in there on purpose so nobody comes down here on the left over here. So you actually get light flares, but obviously my cameras like dive right through that. Like, I mean, Chuck's got a crystal clear picture, no light flare whatsoever. So,
I mean, this bush over here, the tree, you see it
Yeah.
brighter, but that's it.
but yeah, normally with a regular camera like your phones, it'll actually put that giant flare on there that moves with the lens. So, but yeah, I think starting next week, I'm going to start telling the other story across the street. Apparently, there's like an old wives' tale, like don't run through a graveyard at night. Some girl actually, she was dared to go in there by her friends. Young girl, like under the age of 12. She never came out because her dress got caught on one of the headstones or a twig or something, and her ghost instead sort of basically roamed the graveyard. Well, it's in like an old wives' tale that I found on some rando website. Like, oh, that's a great tale. I might have to add that in one night. And I gotta dig for it, see if I can find it, to get the names and the, like that time frame. And obviously the camera that Chuck's using would be super great over there. Once I tell the story, like it's an old wives' tale, but at the same time, it's still fun. Just because this location. So you know this one?
But her dress got caught and she ended up falling and hitting her head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I think I found it on Goodreads. And like somebody put it as a review of some book or something that I found. So I'll have to find that again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she and I met one day.
Interesting.
And I had my back against the gate on the other side. Pretty sure she and I met.
Very cool stuff. Any words coming up, Christina?
Garden, Chloe, oral, yield, can, interrupt, repeat.
Chloe and are interesting because there's a little too far away from that. By the way, clapping at the end of a ghost story is probably the cheesiest thing you can do. Don't you dare clap at the end of this. We're not on a ghost story. She's already doing it.
Toe touches.
Alright, what's our counters look like on there? We got at least 5 to 6 minutes on there yet?
I have 4.
Okay. We'll let it run. Take our time.
When
You
you
try
said
to get
let's
at least-
get out of this hot alley, they said nod.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's what I meant to say. Hell yeah. So once we get about another minute or two of footage, I'll put us right back on the wall and I'll explain the last 2 stops that we're going to because they're completely different than what we've been doing. So again, every location's a little bit different just based on what goes on. Kelly, I
Foliage
swear, I'm
and
giving you a
garden.
job later. That is the most steady thermal I've ever seen.
Foliage and garden, foliage.
Foliage.
Right here, 20.1.
20.1?
Yeah.
Nice.
Standing here. Then it just jumps to 0 again.
Okay, that's what you want. Just looking around you to make sure there's nothing electrical. I don't know what that little box is right there. You have a box that's directly behind you. Is it just a mailbox?
It looks like a bunch of kids.
Looks like a light of some
There's a
sort.
light, so it's probably got some juice going to it.
All right, let's stop your cams. Give your hands a break. You're writing that one down. You're on record. There you go. All fixed up. Let's see. So, purple I'm excited about, and now that we have don't forget in C's, isn't that like, what's the phrase for the military?
Never forget.
Never forget.
Yeah, but there's a Latin thing for that, isn't it? What am I thinking of?
Well, the Marines are
Carpe diem?
Semper Fidelis, but that's ever faithful.
Gotcha.
Carpe diem, seize the day.
That's what I was thinking. It was carpe diem because you have the word C's. Okay. Purple. Okay. I'm excited. And that's exactly where you don't like to be. So Doc was looking out for you. Look at that. Just got a call on it. All right. So you already know about my limitations. How you've seen the cops out monitoring those limitations. The location of this actual murder scene is 2 more blocks. I can't take us any closer. We stop here because it obviously gives us a good place to sit. It's as close as I can get us. So here's what happened. November 1st, 1933, woman fell to the ground, started screaming in pain. A man hit me. I know I'm going to die. She's with her friend, walking in the middle of the day, and everybody's a gentleman back then. So if somebody driving by, seen a woman on the ground, and stops to help. He can't figure out what's going on with her. She's still saying the same things over and over again. A man hit me. I know I'm going to die. So he puts her in his car and takes her to the hospital. Try to figure out, let them figure it out. So she gets down to the hospital, and she has a doctor. The doctor's name is Dr. James Avery Finger. Silly name, but we get all 3 parts of his name. Yep. While we've been here before, we've actually had 2 parts of it on certain nights, all in one night. So anyway, doctor can't figure out what's going on with her, and she dies on his table. Her name was Mary Ravenel. Now, you guys came over here from Mount Pleasant, and you know what bridge I'm talking about. The giant bridge that leads from Mount Pleasant to downtown Charleston is called the Ravenel Bridge. This is a very prominent name here in Charleston. If you watch Southern Charm, you probably recognize that name as well, because there is a family on there, the Ravenels. So, very prominent lady, but doctor, not being able to figure out what happened to her, he sends her over to the coroner in the autopsy room so they could figure it out. Well, the coroner finds a scrape underneath her arm and a bullet hole inside of her ribcage. It was a 38. It killed her. Went all the way through her chest, killed her. Now, a couple of things that we do know for sure, because again, this is a murder mystery. Whoever picked her up took her away, and the shooter got away. So he obviously is unknown at this point. We don't know who he is 90 years later. Wow, it's getting awfully noisy on the street corner for a random Thursday. I know. But again, it's all about the recording at this point. We want as much quiet points on his recording as possible, because that's when we capture the voices. So, no gunpowder residue on her body. Not a close shot. Jewelry and cash still intact, not robbed. She's 64 years old, and she's a widow. She's originally from Detroit, Michigan. What questions would you ask so that way Chase can actually hear her voice coming through his earphones? Oh my God, can we just have helicopters and tanks too? Like every vehicle decides to come down here as I don't want to scream a story at you guys. Sorry, I hate screaming stories. Anyway, what questions would you guys come up with?
Why were you visiting Charleston? Why were you in Charleston?
Well, she lives here.
Who shot you?
Who shot you?
Why were you shot?
Why were you shot? What's the motive? What else? I like it. Keep going. Remember, she's a widow. She married into the Ravenel family. She's a northerner married into a southern family.
How'd your first husband die?
Okay, I like it.
Do you think you were assassinated?
Okay, were you targeted? Even though, by the way, that's a yes/no question, it's okay. It's her actual voice. You'll probably have an elaborate answer. No, I do not. Yes, I do. So this is an okay yes/no answer type of session. I just like to point that
Who
out.
would have wanted you dead?
Okay,
Why did you move to the South?
she got married.
Now, how did you meet your new husband?
Love it. Love it. Come on, Claire, what do you got?
What were you doing?
What are you doing? And I have, like, she was walking. We know that. She was just walking with a friend. So,
What was your friend's name?
it's something like Els or something like that. Like it's an odd name.
What day of the week was it?
Where
know that
were you
too.
going?
It was a Wednesday.
What year was this?
1933. So by the way, I'm going to tell you what we caught with Chase's recording so far. This is the new space for this year. I always start looking for a new space in November, right after Halloween, a busy time of the year for me. So, I'm doing the, on his recording, a couple of weeks go by after we're getting started with this. We don't have much, we don't have anything going on. And then nice quiet, just like this, we have help, help in the background. They heard it in real time. I verified it, there was a voice. I actually sent somebody, one of y'all, around the corner to be able to go see if there's anybody around the corner. There's nobody around. It was November, first off. In the colder months, there's nobody out downtown, like nobody even driving.
Yeah.
Secondly, a couple of weeks after that, I get a help me, I have fallen. Also heard in real time. I am able to take the original recording of help, help and analyze the two. It's the same voice. I have the word help, that's the key word. Obviously you can see where the sound waves would look the same. I'm very excited about that. I have some mumbles that I can't determine what they say, so I don't count them as actual evidence. So take that for what it is. But I'm also going to tell you why I tell this story. So the next section that we're about to go through, so what Karen's going to be doing with this virtual reality headset, we had one session where the listener said 33, Mary, murder, and then we had this image show up on the virtual reality piece, and I had no idea what any of this meant together. So let's get you closed in because they're going to be walking by. I'm going to be showing you guys a picture anyway. When I actually started researching, like, what could this mean, because I researched the hell out of everything, I was looking for a new story for the following year anyway, it was like a oh shit moment. Let me show you what this picture looks like. It is basically a comparison of Mary Ravenel to the picture that was generated by the artificial intelligence, along with the words 33, the year that it happened, the name Mary, and the word murder that came out of the listener, and none of us knew what the hell was going on in real time. Which are... Mary is on the left, the artificial intelligence image is on the right.
That one shows up a little higher, that one doesn't.
Look at the cheekbones, look at the placement of the eyes, the shape of the eyes, the mouth, all of it. Pretty much matches up almost completely.
Behind it?
So you can see we're like, I'm very excited about those terms that showed up.
Oh, yeah.
Mary, artificial intelligence.
Wow. Guess who
pretty-
was there?
So I was pretty happy about that. Obviously she's going to trickle over into our next location. Have you heard anything in real time, Chase, that was not our
This
voices
lantern
of the tour
over
guides
here,
walking by?
is like that.
Most people will
Just
kind of like
engage.
come up when they do hear something.
Nothing pops up.
Okay. Anybody else want to give this thing a quick listen before we go blindfold some people? No? Everybody all good?
Well, I think
Wanna
it's
give it a
having
listen?
trouble
Huh?
discerning that the light is in the cage because the cage is closed. Go back down. Go back down.
I don't know.
What is
That's
this?
a damn good question. I never thought of that. I'm not a gun person at all.
Something. A window.
Upper bed and shovel.
That's really odd.
Pretty intense in there, huh, Claire? What's the tour guide saying across the street? To your left. Yeah, wherever you point those mics, that's where you get the most activity. It is like an eavesdropping device. Love it. Yeah, my mother-in-law uses that to watch TV with when she's visiting. Because I'll have a house full of people and she's like pointing the damn thing at the TV.
Kelly's like, maybe I need to get me one of them. Oh, my hair needs to be tied into my phone and the TV.
And just for my vocal notes, that is Chuck talking. Because I do listen from start to finish. Alright, anybody else want to give it a listen? Everybody all good? Yeah, usually when one goes, there's usually at least one more. Yeah, we could probably hit the pause button on that if we haven't already. Is it recording right now? It is. Nope, nope, it's not. Pause this right here. Okay. Alright, cool. So how crazy is that thing? So your newer ghost hunting shows, they're using these instead of normal small voice recorders. In case you guys haven't, like when you guys go back and start watching, it just doesn't have the windscreen on it because they're indoors. So you'll see the two mics that are crisscrossed on there. They're just using them in real time. I don't know that they're recording in real time, the whole thing, just because those files are giant.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like That's why we only did this for 10 minutes and we're not using this all night long. So I tried, like I think it was the first or second night that I had it, and one of my other pieces broke. I was waiting on a replacement. Yeah, this seems to happen a lot with you guys. People drop my shit all the time and I gotta replace it and then I'm out for 2 or 3 days. But anyway, I let him record the entire night. So we had 2.5 hours of this. It took 8 hours to upload. Like, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I didn't get home till like sun was out the next day. Like, let's just put it out there like that.
That's brutal.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. So we're gonna go into the park behind me, and we are gonna hopefully go talk to a guy. Looking around, I'm like, stop looking around. It won't line up. It doesn't know where to go. In the event that it's blurry, you have a focus right here.
Okay.
Okay. Slide it on. Let's do this.
Do I turn?
Yep. Crank it up. It is 10:59. You got something coming up already?
No, it's just the galaxy.
Oh yeah.
How do I get this to tighten?
I put the galaxy on so you don't fall asleep.
Good
Claire,
grief.
can you hear me? What color is a blue banana? We're good to go. Henry.
Hallelujah.
Henry, if you're here, let's talk about your work. We're going to start off things like we always do. Let's talk about your job and verify that you're here.
Greatness.
She might get loud. Are you on standby? Henry, talk about your work for me. Let's be proud of your work.
See, like Stonehenge.
Understand. You.
Yeah, green grass, Stonehenge-looking group of stones, and dark clouds overhead.
Okay. Henry, I'm not understanding the image. You're going to have to try harder than that. Henry, let's talk about your work. What did you do for a living? Let's be proud of your work tonight. Let's get a little bit of excitement. Let's be proud.
Grateful.
Grateful.
To
To what?
condemn.
It may look more like a
Shy.
millstone in the front.
Okay. Henry, still not understanding the image. You want to talk about something else, like a family member?
Hi, Dad.
Okay. You want to talk about your father?
Understand.
What does your father do for a living? He's a football.
You. No strangers to love.
What does your father do for a living? And we've seen binder show up on yours while we've been here.
Medical.
He did say medical, possible relation to Dr. Ladd coming through, but nothing else specific. Dr. Ladd, if you're here, I need a code word. Dr. Ladd. What's your code?
Arnold.
Arnold?
Arnold.
Before. Hear you.
Henry, let's try something easier for you to grasp. Can you tell us your father's name?
Something.
You named your son after him. You must
He said resident.
must have been important for you. What's your father's name?
Hi.
Henry, can you give us any other clues? Maybe it'd be easier to do that.
Sky.
See a heart, and it's above
Sweat.
maybe a woman's head or a man with longer hair. I see above the bridge of the nose to the top of the head. With a
Can't
heart.
see if he has a mustache or beard.
No, I see bridge of the nose and up, and then a large, clear,
Never gonna
worm-like
give you
heart
up.
above.
Never got a bit of news.
She's been rickrolled, I think.
Yeah.
Good to you.
Henry, who's in the image? Is this your wife? Let's get her name.
Past.
Can you tell us your wife's name?
May have been a child.
Historian.
Maybe 6
Energy.
to 10.
Years?
Old. Yeah.
Saturday night. Feel.
Henry, your wife's name?
Baby.
You haven't given us any name?
Some of the grades just didn't make it.
Henry, I know there's people walking by. Okay, Henry, it seems like you're past. Your son's
Don't worry.
Your son's name?
Strangers to love.
Second time she's had like that type of phrase.
Okay, so I see maybe it looks like rings in someone's hands like this,
Amy?
and then maybe other hands here.
Kind
And
of rings.
Teddy.
wedding rings maybe, or some kind of gold chain because it's multiple rings being held.
Selling.
And it looks slightly cartoonish, actually.
When I saw you.
We'll all be able to see these images when we're done here, just so you know. And it will be on your report. Christina, you got
Stars.
anything? Let's give her another shot.
Easton.
Give her a little while.
Easton has been here a lot.
Okay.
Terrorist. We had terrorists earlier. Property. Supply.
Hands off.
Henry, I'm not getting much from you tonight. Is there a reason why? You'd like us to leave. You know the code word for that.
Whoa.
Code word is home, just so you guys know. If she says we're home, I can try to use one more thing out of them. Dr. Ladd, you know your code word. Just to let us know you're around.
All lost.
Henry, let's get something specific about you. I'm trying to be a little bit more excited about your work tonight. I'm trying to be a little bit more celebratory. Instead of being all of these solemn questions I normally ask you.
Lost.
What's going on with this law? Can you give us any wish to describe that? I understand that you're lost. Here, you're not lost. Here because you're recognition. Your bus that's over there.
Paid.
Henry, we're running out of time. We're down to about 2 to 3 minutes. Trying to get,
Maybe.
we're trying to get something very specific out of you. Images would be great. Even if you just showed us what type of facial hair you had.
I want to break something.
Wow. No, serious. Are you mad at me still from the other night?
Wait. Burned it with fire.
Reading
Cold.
seems a little heavier. Is that normal?
Night. We just made something. Hi.
Henry, are you upset that there's 2 ladies on the bench tonight?
Holy.
It's a yes no question.
His body. If I know.
No images at all? Henry?
All. Rob land.
Henry, do you want us to leave? You've got to give us the code word. Again, we're down to about a minute and a half.
Make.
I'm getting something. Oh my goodness.
What do we got?
Like a dragon.
What is that thing?
It's okay.
Oh, good lord.
It's like a dragon.
Okay.
Leave.
Henry, use the code word. I don't take things as leave.
Is it blue?
No. Try again.
That word.
Yeah. Give me the word. The code word. So I know it's you telling us to leave and we'll oblige.
Yale University.
Damn it, Henry.
Chained. Leave. Don't play with me. appreciation.
Oh, we can do that. Henry, we're going to close it out with reading some of your work. Obviously, this
Go
happens
ahead.
often. This happens often enough where I actually have a quick stanza of your work. Henry?
$9,000.
We're red on the camera.
I know what you know.
Yeah, I know what you know too, Henry. We're going to wrap it up here in just a minute. I'm just going to close
Please
it out.
just.
We know not in the temple of the fates, God has inscribed her doom, and all untroubled in her fate, she waits. The triumph.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I normally count them out. Just going to tap her on the leg. I'm going to take it. Alright, feel that thing off your face. Alright,
That is cool.
so I'm going to show you guys what she saw. And I do run all of these images through Google Lens. So if in the event that I can't make out what's going on inside of these images, obviously Google Lens will give me a little bit more
Yeah.
detail.
So I
And
said it
all
looks
of
like Stonehenge,
these
but
images
like a
will be
milling
inside
stone
of your
in the
report.
front.
Yeah.
So this is the Stonehenge one. Obviously, next she saw a woman.
I'm not sure it was a woman.
I'm going to say it's a woman, very young woman, with a heart over top of it and kind of like a sepia type filter. So you guys are seeing the point. Kind of a weird heart though.
I thought it could be a little child though too that would have been in short pants because of the style.
That's what it
of the
looked like
hair.
when you were looking
It
through it?
looked exactly like that.
I heard Hi
Page
Daddy
boy.
really clearly, which that freaked me out.
Weird hands, cartoonish, very drawn.
But the little
It was
hand,
so
there's a little hand too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I said there's both.
That's almost a baby hand.
Like a ring bearer.
Yeah.
Cartoony looking though. Like
And-
Mario Brothers.
It's
Your
a
dragon.
weird Japanese dragon.
Yeah.
With like 8 legs.
Yeah, it happens. What you know about all about dragons? So, I think that was the
So
last
I'm
one, right?
literally looking at like this really beautiful galaxy. And then it starts to brighten up and it's just like a picture shows up.
Yeah, it just shows up out of nowhere.
No way.
Yeah. By the way, hit the stop button.